I love it. I love the fact that you watch my videos and then you comment on them. I mean, it always takes this channel further down the road. You would think that with me doing this channel for years now and having over 2,200 videos, that I'd eventually run out of things to talk about with hair loss. But thanks to my subscribers, they always help enlighten me and enhance the conversation. And then of course the crowd grows, and then so we sort of build on top of what we already know about certain things. Okay, so Sam Doyle, thank you. Here's the comment he left on a video I made called, "Does my hair match my age? Is this the hairline and density of a 37-year-old man?" Okay, our great friend Sam Doyle, here's what he had to say. Quote, "I live in Ireland, and I would say that your hair is slightly worse than most 37-year-olds. I think you have slightly more recession than the average 37-year-old Irish man. However, your hair is still dark brown throughout, which is unusual for 37-year-olds. Most Irish men in their late 30s have noticeable graying." End quote. I love it. Here's something I love about this is secret. I've got another channel and it's got like 1,100 subscribers. It's growing pretty quickly right now. It's called Family Friendly Daddy Blog. And I'm going to put 2 links in the comments so that you can see these videos I made months ago. And they address this. There's one on there where I made a video with my sister. And she had this theory, because the other channel largely focuses on DNA and ethnicity and things like that. And that's like the overall main theme about that channel. Family Friendly Daddy Blog, which again, the links, there's 2 links right below here. But we made a video talking about how a theory that if you're it's the Irish gene and it's the British gene. Those genes there are the ones that cause you to go gray sooner, but not balding necessarily, but those are the graying genes. And here's what's interesting, and you probably don't know this about DNA test, but for example, so obviously my sister and I have the same parents, but when we take DNA tests, it's not like we have identical results, because what happens is each child gets 50% of the genes from each of their parents, but which 50%? So you see where that's going? So for me, I got twice the amount of Native American as she did because our mom's Mexican. Okay, I got twice the amount. I got 21.6. She only got 11%. Now, you probably know this, but with the Native American gene, they tend to keep their hair dark. Like their hair just doesn't go gray. My Mexican grandma, she passed away about 1.5 years ago. She was 81, hardly had any gray hair at all, and she was 81. And so what we learned from comparing our DNA test results with my sister and I, she also, in addition to me having double the amount of the gene that makes you not go gray early, and see, my sister's 3 years younger than me, but she, as she points out, you can watch the video, that she's been graying since her 20s. Whereas for me, if you really look hard, you can probably see a gray hair, but I've got so few that I can pluck them and it's no big deal, okay? So the concept was this, that she figured out, is that the British and Irish gene, that is the gene that makes you go gray early. And sure enough, on her test, she received a decent amount of that British and Irish gene. And on mine, guess what? I got 0% British and Irish. So from our dad is where that gene comes from. She got a large amount of that, and I got none of it. Meanwhile, I got twice the amount of the gene that causes you not to go gray early. So it's interesting. I definitely think that there's definitely truth to that. Enough so that I have a separate channel about it. That's how passionate I am about believing that your DNA can help set predictors. So probably the most confusing thing about what I just said was the fact that my sister and I have different results. Because a lot of people, when they hear, they're like, "Oh, are you sure you have the same parents?" And it's the whole concept of the same way that both of my children have blonde hair and blue eyes, and my wife has the same traits as I do. Well, again, because your grandparents' genes could have skipped you and they come out more so in you. And so you can have higher parts of one thing from one of your parents and then none from the other that show up in your DNA. And then the other video that I put a link to, it's me talking with my brother-in-law, so my sister's husband, last name Reynolds, Irish. And sure enough, you've probably seen in other videos, Is he maybe at worst case scenario a Norwood 1.5, and he's like what, 34? I think he's 34 now, and no thinning, thick hair, maybe a Norwood 1.5 at the very worst. Irish descent, and perfect example. But admittedly, he and my sister both have been graying since their 20s. And that's something I haven't had to deal with. So again, he's further evidence that this Irish gene, I'm not saying for sure that it means that you're going to keep your hair, but according to our friend Sam Doyle, there is something to that if the Irishmen tend to keep their hair, but they tend to grow gray. So for my sister and her husband both to have a higher percentage of Irish DNA and British DNA, and yet my brother-in-law is not balding to the same degree that I am, but yet I don't have the gray hair. I think there's absolutely something to that, especially again when you consider that my DNA test showed a high percentage of Native American, and my sister was half of what I was. So Native American DNA, what that is known for as far as hair is that you're not really going to go gray, and largely that you're not going to go bald either. But it also would indicate that you're not hairy, and well, I definitely have that. So it's like you can see certain traits of it, and when it's all said and done, I don't know. I theorize that the reason I still have this much hair is because of that Native American gene, in the same way I'm not going gray soon. But at the same time, I definitely got the hairy gene. There's no way around that. So I'm fascinated about this. Check out both of those links. The first is an interview with my sister where we explored and kind of unpacked this concept. And then the second one, and you can see my brother-in-law of Irish descent, and you can see his hair. It matches up what Sam Doyle said. I don't think that this is a coincidence, but you get to be the judge. Now that you've spent 7 minutes watching this video, watch those other two. Tell me what you think right here.